Once Human is doing something that many games don't have the guts to do. They're going after the cheaters and they're doing something that a lot of people will probably have issues with. They're naming and shaming. And the people that have issues are probably, you guessed it, cheaters. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this and let's go over how everything works and where you can find the accounts that have been banned. The list is linked down below in the description if you're interested. So first off, they announced that they're going to be maintaining a 24/7 monitoring to detect abnormal behavior in real time and respond promptly to reports. Every company says this. It would sort of be like, no company's going to come out and say, hey, we only monitor on the weekdays, go nuts during the weekends, because then people would go nuts during the weekends. So 24/7, is it real? Who knows? They said players confirmed to be using cheats will face severe penalties, including long-term account bans. And for those of you wondering how long those account bans are, currently the longest bans that they're handing out are 10-year bans. Whether or not this game makes it 10 years, who knows, but by that time you're going to have completely forgotten about your account, so pretty much nixes you from the game. Next off, they placed a high priority on fixing bugs and enhancing game security. If you're found to be exploiting a bug, you're probably going to get penalized for it, and they're going to take away any of the things that you got for exploiting that bug. So if you find a bug and you have this question in your mind, should you use it? The answer is no, because once they figure out that you did it, you're going to lose all your stuff and probably get banned, so it's not worth it. A lot of the bans handed out for this seem to be like 1 to 3 day bans, but this is sort of their first, this is September 2nd to the 22nd as far as bans go. It's highly likely that these bans are going to increase if the bugs and exploits and all that get worse and worse, because that's how you push people to not do it, right? If you find a bug and you could only be banned for a day, maybe you go ahead and take it. If you could be banned for a week, you're probably not going to do it. If you could be banned for 10 years, there's no way you're going to touch that bug with anything. Next up, they also announced that they're going to be cracking down on cheaters and platforms that sell cheats. They said to give them details if you find any of these platforms, but you know what they say about stitches and snitches and all that? Who knows? I don't think these platforms actually have ballers behind them, so maybe go ahead and see what happens. Anyways, they're going to try and crack down on the platforms. Whether this means they're going to take legal action or just go after the individuals cheating, who knows? But let's be honest, if you go after the individuals, it's just going to be a game of cat and mouse. If you go after the people creating the cheats, you're probably going to have a little bit more luck, especially because Once Human isn't like the top game out there. It's not the best game in the world. It's not the game that has millions of people playing it. Maybe later, but right now that's not the case. If there's Fortnite, people might take evasive action and try to get around it because there's a lot of money there. Once Human, if they actually do start to litigate against some of these cheaters and the platforms that they're selling these cheats on, there's a good chance a lot of people are just going to bail on it because it's not worth the hassle. Now to wrap things up, we're going to be going over the list of people who cheat. Now, actually, I'm not going to be naming and shaming because this is a big list if we're being honest. I'm just going to run through this and give a few of the bans and the reasons for it and all that. So basically, malicious exploitation of bugs. It seems like that's like a 1 day ban. You could get a 3 day ban. It doesn't seem like there's too much more than like a 7 day ban on that. And those people have some very interesting names, if you will. They probably should be banned for that alone. But yeah, it seems like 1 to 7 days for malicious exploitation of bugs. If you're using third-party unauthorized software and malicious client hacking activities, that goes 30 days to 10 years. So some people are being banned for a month and some people are pretty much being banned forever. It seems like it really depends what you're doing, but honestly, when I'm looking at this, it seems like most of the bans that are handed down for that are 10-year bans, which mean you can't come back to the game. You're not going to be playing this game again. That's it. Once Human is over for you, you're going back to being a human, or you're going to create another account and hope you don't get caught again. But yeah, basically, they're handing down some pretty serious bans for third party and all that, which makes sense because if you're doing that, you likely know what you're doing. It does seem also there are a few 3 day bans in here, but it depends on what sort of third party stuff you're using, right? Like some people are debating whether certain keyboards are cheating or all that. I'm assuming if they see that you're using keyboard software that they don't really like or something like that, you can get 3 day ban and be told to knock it off. If you're doing something like using a device that hacks into the client and edits source code or something like that, I could see 10 years being fair. Anyways, that's all we've got today for Once Human and their war on cheaters. If you got comments, questions, or you got a big bad and you want to name yourself and shame yourself, feel free to post down below. Until next time, peace.